All right, thank you guys. Welcome to our NBA video here today for Sunday. What is it? February 28th, last day of the month. And if you're new here, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my channel. My name is Brock Page and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. And if you end up liking what you see here today, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and join the Brock Page family. I'd love to have you. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into some NBA action here. Let's take a look at the Clippers taking on the Bucks, 3:30 p.m. Eastern start time in Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Bucks are the 1-point favorite on their home court. Total's 233.5. And if you like the Clippers in the slightest of upsets here on the road, they're minus 105 on the money line. Now, guys, real quick, we're 5-0 in our last 5 extra daily picks on my Patreon website. And if you want to access that tier membership, it's just $2.99. We're also 9-2 in our last 11 premium picks in that very same category. And just a reminder here, guys, Patreon will bill you the day you sign up, and then the first of every month following that. So considering tomorrow is March 1st, you're going to get max value signing up tomorrow. Now, guys, the Clippers have dropped 3 out of their last 6 ball games. They also failed to cover the point spread in 3 out of those 6 contests as well. We're looking at a Los Angeles Clipper team here who's in the bottom half of the NBA in road offensive rebounding. They're also in the bottom 3 defensively in fourth quarter points allowed on the road. They're taking on a Milwaukee squad who's on a 4-game winning streak themselves, 3-1 against the number in those 4 victories. Now the Bucks lead the NBA in offensive rebounding. They're also first in the NBA in home scoring as well. Giannis Antetokounmpo is scoring over 28.5 points a game, 11 boards and 5 assists for the Greek Freak. Meanwhile, Chris Middleton scoring 20 a game himself, along with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Milwaukee scoring 121 points a game on their home court. They're also making nearly 41% of their three-pointers at the Fiserv Forum as well. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Milwaukee's last 4 contests did stay under the number, throwing out the Pelicans game. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, the LA Clippers' last 2 straight stayed under the total themselves. We're also looking at 5-1 to the under in their last 6 as well. I'm going to lean toward the Milwaukee Bucks -1 and the under 233.5. Next contest, actually, guys, real quick, the Bulls-Raptors game that got postponed for COVID, and so we're not going to see those teams in action here tonight. But we will see the Wizards versus the Celtics, and that's going to be a 7 p.m. Eastern tip-off in Boston. Now, the Boston Celtics are -6.5. Numbers 232 and a hook. Boston has dropped 6 out of their last 9 ball games. Just 3-6 against the number in their last 9 as well. The Boston Celtics are currently 1 game below 500, and they may have to go to work here today without Jaylen Brown, as he's been listed as questionable with a knee. Now, they're taking on a Washington team who's won 7 out of their last 8 themselves, and they successfully covered the point spread 7 times during that span. Now, the Wizards rank in the top 10 in the NBA in scoring on average per game. They're also in the top 10 in offensive rebounding. Bradley Beal is scoring 32 points a night along with 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Meanwhile, Russell Westbrook is scoring over 19.5 points a game himself, 9 rebounds, 9 assists for the multi-time All-Star. The Wizards are currently 9-7 against the spread in their road games this season. And when it comes to the total on this one, Washington is 10-6 to the under on the road this year. Boston saw contests with Dallas, Denver, Washington, and Detroit stay under the total themselves recently. So I'm going to lean toward the underdog Washington Wizards +6.5 and the under 232 and a hook. All right, next ball game, Warriors, Lakers, 8 p.m. Eastern start time in Los Angeles. The Lakers are the 3-point favorite at home, numbers 221. If you like the Warriors in an upset on the road here, they're plus $1.35 on the money line. Now, the Warriors saw their most recent outing the other night with Charlotte get almost 20 points above the posted total for that particular contest. Golden State also saw 3 out of their last 6 get over the line as well, and that includes games against Orlando and Miami. Now, they're taking on a Laker team who's 10-7 to the over as the official home team this year. Meanwhile, contests against Washington, Denver, Memphis, and OKC got over the line recently for LA as well. My ATS pick for this contest is not available on YouTube here today, but I am going to lean toward the over 221 in that contest. All right, next game, Knicks versus the Pistons, 8 o'clock East. The New York Knicks are the 1-point favorite on the road, totals 211 flat. Once again here, guys, we're in a position where my ATS pick is unavailable for this contest here on YouTube. But when it comes to the total in this one, the Knicks' last two straight did get over the posted number. Contests against the likes of Indiana and Sacramento during that stretch. New York's also 4-3 to the over in their last 7. And that includes contests with Atlanta and Houston as well. Now they're taking on a Detroit squad who saw 6 out of their last 10 meetings with New York get over the total themselves. We're also seeing a very small number on the sides in this one. Some shops actually have this one as a pick'em. So there's always that chance of overtime in this one as well. So with that in mind, I'm going to lean toward the over 211 in that contest. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Hawks versus the Heat, 8 p.m. East. The Miami Heat's -6 at home, totals 220. Now Miami saw 2 out of their last 3 stay under the posted number, throwing out the Utah game. The Heat's also gone 9-7 to the under at the American Airlines Arena. Now they're taking on an Atlanta squad who went 9-7 to the under in their 16 road games themselves this year. So with this particular contest, I'm going to lean toward the under 220 in that matchup. All right, next game. It is going to be Grizzlies versus the Rockets, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The Memphis Grizzlies are -4 away from home, totals 223.5. Now the Grizzlies are 3-0 to the under in their last 3 straight, 4-1 to the under in their last 5. They're taking on a Houston team who saw 6 out of their last 10 meetings with Memphis stay under the line. The Houston Rockets are also a staggering 11-1 to the under in their dozen games at the Toyota Center. Another one we're going to lean toward the under. I'm going to lean toward the under 223.5 in that ball game. All right, next matchup I have for you. It is going to be the Phoenix Suns versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. And that's going to be a 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Minnesota. Now, the Phoenix Suns are -10.5 on the road here. Numbers 225 juice to the over. Phoenix has won 8 out of their last 10 ball games, 80% against the number in those contests as well. The Suns are currently in the top 5 defensively in points allowed, top 3 in defending the 3 ball. Devin Booker scoring nearly 25 points a game, along with 3 boards and 4 assists. Meanwhile, Chris Paul's dropping over 16.5 a game himself, along with 4 boards and 8 assists as well. The Suns are currently 10-5 straight up in their road games this season, and they've also successfully covered the point spread in nearly 70% of those very contests. Now they're taking on a Minnesota Timberwolves squad who they're on a 7-game losing streak. Not much success recently, and they also dropped 11 out of their last 12. Now the T-Wolves are in the bottom 3 in home scoring, bottom 3 defensively in points allowed. The Timberwolves have been victorious in only 4 of 15 home games. Now when it comes to the number in this one, 4 out of Minnesota's last 7 stayed under the line, throwing out the Washington game. The T-Wolves are also 8-7 to the under at the Target Center. Meanwhile, on the other side of things here, the Phoenix Suns, they're coming fresh off a game with Chicago that stayed about 23 points below the posted number for that particular contest themselves. They're also 60% to the under in their 15 road games. So with that said and done, I'm going to lean toward the Phoenix Suns -10.5 and the under 225. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup of the show. It is going to be Hornets versus the Kings, 10 p.m. Eastern Star Time in Sacramento. The Kings are the 1-point favorite at the Golden One Center, totals 239. And if you like the Charlotte Hornets and a slight upset on the road here, they're -105 for some money line cash. Now, Charlotte has won 5 out of their last 9 ball games despite their recent defensive struggles. They're currently in the top 10 in the NBA in road scoring. They're also in the top 10 in the association in offensive three-point percentage. Now, Gordon Hayward scoring 21.5 points a night. Keep an eye on him as he is listed as questionable for tonight's contest. A couple other places has him upgraded to probable, so I'm pretty optimistic we're going to see him play, but just keep an eye on him as he is on the injury report officially. Meanwhile, Terry Rozier scoring over 20 points a night himself. 3 rebounds, 3 assists for the former Celtic. And despite Devontae Graham sitting this one out with a knee, Charlotte is amongst the top 3 teams in the association defensively in third quarter points allowed. Now they're taking on a Sacramento squad who lost 11 of 18 at the Golden One Center. Sacramento's just 1-9 straight up in their last 10 ball games, regardless of location, and they rank dead last in points allowed. Parker and Whiteside are out. Sacramento allows their opponents to make 50% of their field goals on their home court. And when it comes to the total on this one, 8 out of Sacramento's last 9 outings got over the line. 13-5 to the over on their home court. Meanwhile, Charlotte is 11-4 to the over when they travel. 70% to the over in their last 10 meetings with the Kings. I'm going to lean toward the underdog Charlotte Hornets +1 and the over 239. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap. Once again, powered to you by my Patreon website, where we are 5-0 in our last 5 extra daily picks on that Patreon page. 9-2 in our last 11 premium sports picks in that very same category. I like the Milwaukee Bucks -1 under 233.5. Washington Wizards +6.5 under 232 and a hook. I like the over 221 in the Golden State Laker game. I also like the over 211 in the Knicks Pistons game. Give me the under 220 in the Atlanta-Miami game. I also like the under 223.5 in the Memphis-Houston contest. I like the Phoenix Suns -10.5 under 225. Before I give you my next and final free pick for the show, one final reminder to please hit that subscribe button right now. If you enjoyed today's video, give me the Charlotte Hornets +1 and the over 239. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into some shout-outs from our YouTube platform. Shout out to David Osborne, King Milo, Big Marv Vlogs. Shout out to Checkmate, Mopar for Life, King Jackson, Peter Sanchez, Blue Collar Man, Chris Brown, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout-out to my good friend, Nevada Clark. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Sunday to you. Best of luck to you. And have yours... Wow, really butchered that. And have yourself a good one now.